Chapter 34-34. The situation of the ancestral dragon disciples doesn't look optimistic. Wang Xian returned to his cave abode and checked the various messages on the universe AI while mumbling to himself. As the sacred dragon bloodline was backed by the Angel clan, they were able to issue bounties in the 100 Cities Alliance. Once the bounty was announced, people would be tempted to kill the ancestral dragon's disciples in exchange for the bounty. This was extremely dangerous for the disciples of the ancestral dragon. But the situation is not out of control yet. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he cultivated in the cave abode. Dragon King, the atmosphere outside doesn't seem right. 2 months later, Enlai delivered a Tier 3 water lotus and suddenly said to Wang Xian, Something was wrong. What's wrong? Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. The atmosphere is a little tense, and the number of people in the surroundings has clearly decreased. Everyone outside is talking about the 100 Cities Alliance and the ancestral dragon's bloodline. Enlai said. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He switched on the universe AI and continued to search for information. When he saw the content, he raised his eyebrows slightly. In the 100 Cities Alliance, experts from 2 cities besieged an expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline and killed him. Why did they attack the experts of the ancestral dragon's bloodline? The overall strength of the ancestral dragon bloodline is much stronger than the entire 100 Cities Alliance. Aren't they afraid of retaliation for attacking the experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline? Wang Xian was deeply puzzled. The ancestral dragon bloodline was not weak, and their leader was known as the strongest person under the universe ruler. The strength of the 100 Cities Alliance could not withstand the revenge of the ancestral dragon's bloodline, let alone just 2 cities. Is there any inside story, or what? Wang Xian frowned. With a swift move, he flew out. There were obviously fewer people outside, but there were many disciples of the ancestral dragon's bloodline around. Clearly, some of the disciples were here to seek refuge with Azure Dragon Moon. Wang Xian squinted his eyes as he leaned against the side of the cave abode and watched quietly. Perhaps because there were more disciples of the ancestral dragon's lineage here, the atmosphere was slightly tense. Not long ago, experts from the 100 Cities Alliance had surrounded and killed a First-Order sovereign from the ancestral dragon bloodline. No one knew if they would attack the Azure Dragon Moon. Everyone knew that the ancestral dragon lineage had an Azure Dragon here. Wang Xian was deep in thought. Could it be that the angel race was involved? Otherwise, how could any city in the 100 Cities Alliance dare to participate? Wang Xian shook his head and entered the cave abode. He took a look at the water lotus on the ancestral tree and smiled. There were a total of 4 9th-grade water lotuses. However, other than the area where the water from the sky fell, Enlai had basically searched all the other areas. Boom boom boom. You're courting death. Half a month later, a roar suddenly sounded. Accompanied by a dragon's roar. As soon as Wang Xian heard the voice, he flew out of the room immediately. Sky formation, water dragon leader, come out. At the same time, he lightly shouted, and 2 figures immediately followed behind him. After Shui Linglong's father broke through, he came over. Wang Xian flew out of the cave abode and looked outside. Outside, the 4 of them wore masks of light on their heads. The masks emitted light, completely concealing their figures. The 4 of them surrounded Azure Dragon Moon in the center. Azure Dragon Moon transformed into his human form and looked coldly at the 4 people around him. You are from the 100 Cities Alliance. Which city are you from? Do you know that you're digging your own grave? Azure Dragon Moon stared at them with a violent look on his face. We're not from the 100 Cities Alliance. Hee, Azure Dragon Moon, you don't have to threaten us. The ancestral dragon bloodline is doomed. Today will be the day you die, one of the 4 said eerily. Haha, do you think you can kill me with just the 4 of you? Azure Dragon Moon laughed heartily. He swayed his dragon body, and the wood attribute energy swept across the surroundings. Everyone, large-scale battles are prohibited in the Lotus Peak. Please go to the sky. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. Azure Dragon Moon, you know the rules here. At this time, the cave masters appeared one after another in the cave abode. Out of the 12 cave masters, 6 city lords walked out. They gave a faint warning. We know the rules. Hehehe, Azure Dragon Moon, I've locked onto you. Even if you escape to your own holy kingdom, we'll be able to find you quickly. Surrender and prepare to die. An old voice said faintly. It was obvious that they had come prepared. Azure Dragon Moon's cold eyes swept across the area below. There were thousands of divine dragon bloodline disciples below. Among you, there are disciples of the sacred dragon bloodline. There are traitors, he said coldly. Given Azure Dragon Moon's strength, it was impossible for him not to do something when the ancestral dragon bloodline was in such a situation. For example, if there were experts coming, he could lead the disciples away. Now that the other party had suddenly charged over, not only did he not notice it, but even the array he had set up in the cave abode temporarily lost its effect. Therefore, there were people from the sacred dragon bloodline among them. Who? Who did this? Damn it, there's a traitor among us. The thousands of disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline looked at each other. All of them looked exceptionally embarrassed. Wang Xian looked over and frowned. There were pros and cons to the disbandment of the ancestral dragon bloodline. After tens of millions of years, some members were still loyal to their leader and the ancestral dragon bloodline. However, some might have been subdued by the sacred dragon bloodline and were hiding among the crowd. It seems like the war between the ancestral dragon and the sacred dragon bloodline has been planned for a long time. Wang Xian thought to himself. The teleportation formation wasn't the only problem with Azure Dragon Moon. His aura might have been locked on by the other party. There were grand sorcerers among the other party. Come on up, Azure Dragon Moon. You can't escape. The masked man flew into the sky and taunted Azure Dragon Moon. Ha ha ha, I'm not saying this, but if you guys want to kill me, at least 2 or 3 of you will die. Azure Dragon Moon roared and flew into the sky. The other 3 masked figures around him immediately launched an attack. The other party had come prepared for the hunting war. They would not show any mercy. Dragon King, Tianjin looked at the battle that broke out in the sky and transmitted his voice to Wang Xian. Go and get ready. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he ordered. Swish. At this moment, Wang Xian sensed a figure moving. The figure charged towards the group of ancestral dragon bloodline disciples in front of Azure Dragon Cave abode. Huh! Wang Xian was stunned when he saw the figure who suddenly attacked. Chapter 34-35. A snow-white figure charged towards the thousands of disciples below the ancestral dragon's bloodline. He was enveloped in water and looked like a puddle of special water as he ran. He did not have a physical form and looked extremely creepy. This was a special living being. Wang Xian squinted his eyes as they glistened. There were experts who wanted to attack the ancestral dragon bloodline. It seemed that they had come prepared this time. If Wang Xian was not wrong, this figure was the Water Master Cave Master. Qing Longyu had warned him not to challenge the Eternal Heaven Cave Master, the Ice Emperor Cave Master, and the Water Master Cave Master. For Qing Longyu to say such a thing, it was a recognition of their strength. Isn't it a little shameless for a universe dominator to ambush a group of universe supremacies? Wang Xian moved at this moment. If he did not make a move, the 1,000 disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline would all die. Huh! The water that was charging towards the disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline paused for a moment. Looking at Wang Xian, who had suddenly appeared in front of him, he narrowed his eyes. He, so you still interfered. A new expert of the ancestral dragon bloodline? The Water Master Cave Master did not seem too surprised by Wang Xian's action. From the battle between Wang Xian and the female demon, all the experts could tell that he was also an expert of the divine dragon bloodline. In addition, Wang Xian had entered Qing Longyue's cave abode twice, which was witnessed by everyone. They already had some guesses and were on guard against Wang Xian. I'm not from the ancestral dragon bloodline, but I'm very unhappy with the lackeys of the divine dragon bloodline. Wang Xian shook his head slightly as he spoke plainly. Since you're from the ancestral dragon bloodline, I don't care if you're a disciple of the ancestral dragon bloodline. You have to die. Killing you is much more worthwhile than killing 1,000 disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline. I'm going to exchange your body for treasures. Whoosh. After finishing his sentence, he moved instantly. The water was his body, allowing him to transform at will. He took the form of a water divine dragon and reached out with his dragon claws. What? This water master cave master, one of the 12 cave masters, also wants to become enemies with our ancestral dragon bloodline? Fortunately, Lord Wang Xian intervened. Otherwise, we would be finished. Damn it, there's a traitor among us, and there are experts who want to kill us. They definitely came prepared. In front of the Green Dragon Moon Cave abode, a group of ancestral dragon's disciples looked at the scene with extremely ugly expressions. Just now, the Water Master Cave Master's attack made them feel the arrival of death. Fortunately, a lord suddenly popped out. Otherwise, they would not be able to escape this calamity. How dare you be so arrogant with a fake divine dragon body? Wang Xian stared coldly at the transformation of the water mage. Boom. His body shook, and clouds and mist appeared around him. Go fight in the sky immediately. Around them, the group of cave masters saw the situation over here, and their expressions turned slightly ugly as they warned coldly. Hualala. Whoosh. The water mage and Wang Xian did not violate the rules here. They were also afraid of disturbing that terrifying giant star beast. The clouds and mist shrouded the water mage completely. However, he didn't seem to be able to see with his eyes as he attacked Wang Xian directly. You! I'm going to annihilate you today. The water mage revealed a strong sense of confidence. He roared, use your body as an array formation. Not a single drop of water can leak through. Clearly, he was very confident in his own strength. His body shook, and the water droplets formed a line, scattering around him. These water droplets formed an array in the void. Under this array, one could only return to his own holy kingdom in an instant after breaking the array. Hee, very good. I like your confidence. Wang Xian chuckled. Within his body, chains extended towards the surroundings in a frenzy and sealed off a portion of the void. Thank you, Brother Wang Xian, for your help. Be careful, this water mage's attack is very unpredictable. At this time, Green Dragon Moon's anxious voice came from afar. Wang Xian swept his gaze across. Green Dragon Moon was completely suppressed under the siege of 4 First Order Universe Sovereigns. However, he was a wood-attributed divine dragon, and his strongest attribute was his recovery ability. They would need at least some time to kill Green Dragon Moon. However, Green Dragon Moon had been locked down. Even if he tried to escape, he would be pursued. To them, Green Dragon Moon was dead for sure. However, it would take some time. Don't worry. Wang Xian smiled faintly. Previously, when he killed Cave Master Demonis, he had only used 1/5 of his strength. This time, he wouldn't hold back. The unbeginning saint wings flapped violently, and he disappeared instantly. That's fast. However, I can sense everything about you. The water mage cave master sensed Wang Xian's speed, and his expression changed slightly. When Wang Xian appeared, a bubble appeared in front of him. It wrapped around him. Such fast reflexes. He can even track where I'm flying. Wang Xian was taken aback, but he wasn't bothered. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone attacked the water mage cave master. Boom. The 5 elements grindstone attacked, and the 5 elements began to revolve. The entire 5 elements grindstone turned red. An incomparably horrifying flame. Suddenly, it exploded. As though the entire sky was covered in flames. Ka. What? The sudden appearance of the 5 elements grindstone and the sudden burst of power caught the water mage cave master off guard. Cracks also appeared on the impenetrable array that sealed the void around him. Wang Xian's eyes were cold. In a flash, his arm turned into a flaming dragon claw. Boom. The appearance of the flame seemed to have caused the water mage cave master to lose his strong senses. Wang Xian appeared at his side and blasted at the water dragon body that he had transformed into. Ah! A blood-curdling scream came from the mouth of the water mage grotto master, as lotus petals slowly appeared around him. Each petal had an incomparably strong defense. This is the water lotus. No, He must have consumed the water lotus and comprehended the powerful law of defense. Wang Xian focused his gaze, and his eyes flickered. However, you still have to die. Wang Xian waved his arm, and 4 Tier 9 water lotus appeared around him, pressing down on him. What? How is this possible? When the water mage cave master saw the 4 Tier 9 water lotus, he was dumbfounded and was filled with disbelief. How did he get 4 Tier 9 water lotus? He had stayed in the Eternal River for more than 1 billion years before he obtained a Tier 9 water lotus. He had consumed it, and comprehended the powerful law of defense. This guy who had just arrived not long ago had a total of 4. Chapter 34-36, the 9th grade water lotus floated in the air. What did 4 9th grade water lotuses mean? Even Wang Xian found it difficult to control it. He also needed the support of the 5 elements grindstone. The more treasures a person had, the better it would be. Especially treasures of a very high level like the water lotus. Generally, weapons such as carnate numinous treasures had to be controlled by humans. A powerhouse couldn't control countless treasures without limit. It had to be controlled with energy. This was different from the 5 elemental grindstone. The 5 elemental grindstone was the dragon soul that Wang Xian had nurtured with the dragon blood by chance. The dragon soul was equivalent to a doppelganger that controlled the 5 elemental grindstone. Treasures like this were extremely rare. The power of a grade 9 lotus flower was very strong, but it was also very difficult to control 4 grade 9 lotus flowers. But Wang Xian could. Lotus, bloom, petals, kill. 4 9th grade lotuses spun and bloomed, attacking the water mage grotto master. No, why do you have so many water lotuses? When the water mage cave master saw the beautiful and murderous water lotuses, his body trembled violently. He had been here for such a long time, but he had only found a 9th grade water lotus, which he had swallowed. This guy actually had 4 of them. 4 9th grade water lotuses were equivalent to a dozen carnate spiritual treasures. The power of these carnate numinous treasures was unimaginable. Not to mention that there was an even more terrifying 5 elements grindstone in the surroundings. The flames of the 5 elements grindstone engulfed the surroundings, melting the water energy in the entire space. The water mage cave master had suffered a terrifying attack. Boom, boom, boom. One by one, the petals landed on his body, causing his body of water energy to crumble. His body was like a puddle of water. To be able to cultivate to such a level was extremely miraculous. However, when the water lotus attack landed on him, he could sense the water mage cave master's life force rapidly disappearing. Something's not right. Although the rank 9 water lotus's attack can melt his life force, it can't kill him. Is it because of his special body? Wang Xian murmured. His body shook and he felt as though he was covered in mud. The 5 elements grindstone began to circulate, transferring the fire energy to the earth energy. It was true that the elements countered each other, and earth countered water. Time Changsha, cover. Wang Xian let out a deep roar. Countless amounts of earth attribute energy transformed into a tidal wave that flooded forward. Why do you have so many attributes? Cave Master Water's eyes widened, filled with disbelief. His body, which was covered in water, trembled violently. Die. Wang Xian's face turned cold as the sand current covered him completely. Return. The 5 elements grindstone floated above the water wizard cave master. The bodies covered in mud entered the 5 elements grindstone. It really is a very special creature. Wang Xian revealed a smile. With a wave of his arm, he kept the corpse of the water mage grotto master into his pouch. The water mage grotto master's corpse was a silvery white stream of water. Even after death, it still contained an enormous amount of energy. This corpse is really special. It can be refined into a weapon, and it can also be absorbed by the water lotus. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes flickered. He put it away and looked at the sky to the side. 4 first-order sovereigns surrounded Azure Dragon Moon, and they began to fight. The sudden end of the battle on Wang Xian's side seemed to have attracted their attention. How is this possible? The water mage cave master's vitality is gone. The 4 of them looked over and their eyes flickered. Do it. At this moment, Wang Xian dashed out. Rumble, 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 he bellowed. At the same time, a roar and a wave of horrifying energy wreaked havoc in the surroundings. A water divine dragon rushed out from below, swaying its huge body and coming to their side. Following which, the entire sky seemed to be covered by a rag, separating it into a special dark space. The array had shrouded the entire space. What? There's an ambush. Shit. There are experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline here. The 4 experts' faces changed when they saw this. Swish, swish, swish. Wang Xian flew over and came to their right in an instant. Below, Lai also flew over slowly and came to the other side. 3. There are still 3 experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline here. It seems like we have underestimated you guys. The figure in the middle who was holding a staff swept his gaze across Wang Xian's sky formation, the water dragon leader, and the rest with cold eyes. Hee, we are not from the ancestral dragon bloodline. We just don't like you guys. Wang Xian said plainly. He looked at Qing Longyu and asked, Brother Qing Longyu, are you alright? Thank you for your help, brother. Azure Dragon Moon looked at the heavenly formation and the water dragon chief with some surprise in his eyes. He had not expected Wang Xian to have 2 such experts on his side. Together with Wang Xian, they had nothing to fear when it was 4 against 4. In fact, they might even have the upper hand. You are not from the ancestral dragon bloodline and yet you dare to get involved in this mess. You really don't know what's good for you. A figure in a white mask stared at Wang Xian and the rest. Hehe, you guys are not from the sacred dragon bloodline either. Since you guys dare to get involved, why can't I? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and continued, moreover. You guys will be the ones dying today. Presumptuous. Even if we can't annihilate you guys this time, we will be able to annihilate you guys next time. The old voice spoke again. They scanned their surroundings. Mph, let's go. As soon as he finished his sentence, he flew back with the staff in his hand. Swoosh. Seeing that they wanted to leave, Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and revealed a faint smile. How can we leave so easily? As he spoke, he had already arrived behind them. Heh! The 4 experts in the radiant mask were taken aback as they revealed a sinister look in their eyes. How presumptuous of you. Do you think you can keep us here? One of the figures said coldly. Why don't you guys give it a try? Wang Xian smiled and raised his palms slowly. In one hand was the 5 elements grinder and the other was the 9th grade water lotus flower. Brother Qing Longyu, let's annihilate them today. Don't let them escape. He bellowed as he flung out the water lotus flower and the 5 elements grinder. His arms turned into dragon claws and clawed at the 4 experts. Ha ha ha, great. Seeing that Wang Xian wanted to keep them here, Qing Longyue's eyes lit up. He laughed out loud as he swayed his huge body and swept his dragon tail across. Courting death. Do you really think we are pushovers? So what if you guys are divine dragons? The 4 experts were infuriated as they roared. Chapter 34-37, The Water Divine Dragon and Azure Dragon roared. The leader of the Water Dragon Palace, Azure Dragon Moon, and the rest roared and attacked the 4 of them. The 5 elements grindstone and the Tier 9 water lotus also unleashed terrifying power. Wang Xian stood at the back, licked his lips, flapped his unbeginning saint wings, and disappeared instantly. Heh! Watch out! The 4 of them were shocked when they sensed the location of the 5 elements grindstone. The 4 of them huddled together and quickly put up a strong defense. Attack! Wang Xian bellowed. His arm turned into a dragon claw, and grayish energy rushed out. Boom! 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 Azure Dragon Moon, the heavenly array, the leader of the water dragon, and the 5 elements grindstone and water lotus exploded with energy towards them. Looking at the incoming attack, the 4 of them were shocked again. This is bad. Their attacks are terrifying. Defend with all your might. The figure holding the magic staff roared with a face full of shock and anger. 4 against 4. To them, there was no danger at all. Even if the guy who appeared out of nowhere killed the water cave master, they thought it was a sneak attack from the other 2 experts. However, sensing the terrifying attack, they knew it wasn't the case. Be it the creepy attack from the Array Master or the round disc filled with deathly energy, they were all horrifying. They definitely couldn't defend against such an attack one-on-one. Give it your all. One of the figures with the radiant mask bellowed. His arm enlarged and blocked in front of him. The other three felt their hearts racing. They took out their strongest inborn spiritual treasures and acquired cardinal treasures to defend. Brother Wang Xian is so strong. Are they his subordinates? They are equally strong. Azure Dragon Moon sensed the attacks around him and was delighted. Boom. Terrifying collisions reverberated and the energy in the sky surged in all directions. Heh! What? There seems to be a change in the battle in the sky. There are experts on Azure Dragon Moon's side. Azure Dragon Moon has helpers. It seems like the ancestral dragon lineage is ready. Great. We still have experts on our side. That's great. Exclamations of shock and astonishment came from below. They were astounded by the terrifying collisions in the sky. This terrifying energy fluctuation made even the cave master's hearts palpitate endlessly. That new cave master is very strong. Was Cave Master Water Mage killed, or did he escape? A few of the cave masters raised their heads to look, but they couldn't see clearly due to the distance. However, they could sense that there were at least 8 First-Order sovereigns in the sky. Oh no! In front of a cave abode, an old man looked up into the sky and his eyebrows twitched. His body trembled, and an identical figure separated from his body and disappeared in an instant. Pu. At the same time, in the sky, 4 figures wearing light masks coughed up blood. Their faces were filled with shock. Under that terrifying attack just now, they had been seriously injured. The opponent's attack was extremely terrifying. They felt as though they weren't facing 4 First-Order sovereigns, but 10 or more. We can't fight them. The enemy's Array Master has already sealed the space around us. The 4 of them looked at each other, and the figure holding the staff said with an ugly expression, "Break this sealing formation for us." One of the burly figures let out a low roar, and his voice traveled very far. Heh! Wang Xian heard the roar and squinted his eyes. Kill. His figure flickered, and in an instant, he appeared beside the expert with the staff, and clawed at him with his dragon claws. What a fast speed. No wonder the Water Mage Cave Master was killed. His speed is comparable to a second-order universe sovereign. The figure holding the staff had a drastic change in his expression as he raised his innate spiritual treasure to block the attack. Boom. Another terrifying collision was heard, and the figure holding the staff was sent flying. Once again, he spat out large amounts of blood. Wang Xian's figure flickered, and in an instant, he appeared on the other side of the figure. Save him. The other 3 immediately roared. Waves of energy enveloped the area around the expert with the staff. Kill. Tianjin bellowed, and with a wave of his hand, several arrays were formed and launched towards them. Green Dragon Moon and the Water Dragon Chief swayed their huge bodies, and their dragon tails swept across. Streaks of elemental dragon tails swept across heaven and earth. No, we are no match for them. Defend again. The burly figure roared. Break through the defense of the array, quick. He continued to shout, and his eyes were filled with anxiety and fear. They were no match for them. They were no match at all. If this dragged on, they would all be killed. The 4 of them gathered together, and with their backs against each other, they erected layers of defense. Boom, boom. Another barrage of attacks landed on them. 2 of them raised their arms, but their arms were instantly disintegrated. Continue. They seemed to have accomplices. Wang Xian bellowed, and continued to attack. Boom. But at this time, a loud roar came from behind. Dragon King, there are First-Order Universe sovereigns outside trying to break the array. Tianjin immediately swept over and bellowed. Hold them off. Let's move quickly. Wang Xian bellowed, and looked at Green Dragon Moon. Die. Green Dragon Moon's eyes were filled with violence. This time, so many First-Order Universe sovereigns were mobilized to kill him. If not for Wang Xian, he would have died today. Oh no, Dragon King, the array has been broken. They have inborn spiritual treasures. At this time, Tianjin's voice came. Continue to kill. Even if we break it, they can forget about escaping. The unbeginning sacred wings on Wang Xian's back exploded, turning into lightning needles, and struck at the four of them. Wings of the King of Angels, run, just you wait, your ancestral dragon will be annihilated. At this time, a pair of radiant wings rose from the center of the four of them. The radiant wings enveloped them completely. Wang Xian's lightning attack landed on it, but it was blocked. The annihilation spear of the five elements grindstone struck on it, but it did not budge. The defense of the angel clan, seeing the radiant wings, Green Dragon Moon's face turned ugly. The other party had such a powerful protective treasure of the light attribute. Even if the angel clan did not participate directly, they were indirectly involved. After all, such a defensive treasure was not easy to obtain. Under the cover of the wings of the King of Angels, the four of them gradually disappeared. They had escaped back to their own holy kingdoms, the angel clan. Looking at the radiant wings, Green Dragon Moon trembled, and his face turned ugly. Chapter 34-38. Above the Lotus Peak, the energy dissipated as Wang Xian and the rest hovered in the air. The four masked figures had already disappeared. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. This time, a total of 6 first-order sovereigns had come to kill Qing Longyu. There were 4 people in the open and 2 in the dark. This was a huge scene. He was going to kill Azure Dragon Moon. If he hadn't acted, Azure Dragon Moon would have been doomed. Thank you for your help, brother Wang Xian. Qing Longyue's expression changed as he looked at Wang Xian and bowed respectfully. You're welcome. Wang Xian replied with a smile, Brother Azure Dragon, you have to be careful in the future. The other party is very strong. The cities of the 100-City Alliance have made their move, and the number of cities that have made their move is more than we expected. Azure Dragon Moon said with an unsightly expression. Furthermore, the Angel Tribe has also indirectly acted. They want to destroy our dragon ancestors' bloodline. What does Brother Azure Dragon want to do now? He asked. The experts of the ancestral dragon lineage should have started to deal with it. It was not good for him to participate in such matters. I'll get in touch with the other experts from the ancestral dragon lineage to find out which city has attacked us. Brother Wang, you have to be careful. The other party might drag you into this. Azure Dragon Moon reminded. Rest assured. Wang Xian replied with a smile. I'll go and settle some matters first. I, Azure Longyu, will definitely repay the kindness you've shown me today. Azure Dragon Moon cupped his hands and flew down. Wang Xian nodded and gestured to Tian Zhen and the rest before returning to the mansion. In front of the cave abodes on Lotus Peak, the figures looked at Wang Xian and the rest with fear. The strength that Wang Xian and the rest had demonstrated just now had shocked them. The strength of 3 first-order sovereigns was extremely terrifying. Even some of the more powerful cities and high-level races were only at this level. Moreover, they guessed that it was very likely that the Water Mage Cave Master had already fallen in their hands. Wang Xian landed in front of the cave abode and took a glance at the Azure Dragon Moon. His gaze swept across all the disciples, and his face was a little gloomy. Among them, there were traitors. He led everyone into the cave dwelling. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he looked over. You guys enter the cave first. Be careful and be safe. I'm going to take care of something. As he spoke to the leader of the water dragons of the heavenly array, the wings of No beginning flashed and disappeared in an instant. Arriving at a place where there was no one around, he opened his palm, and a bolt of lightning condensed and flew in a certain direction. Searching for enemies in the void was one of the abilities of the unbeginning sacred wings. In the battle just now, Wang Xian's lightning attacks had already penetrated their bodies. The 4 of them had been attacked twice in a row and were heavily injured. Their bodies also contained quite a lot of lightning power. Unless they had a powerful treasure, they wouldn't be able to clear them all in a short time. However, just to be safe, he immediately summoned Enlai. He ordered Enlai to quickly teleport in a certain direction and then brought him there. Enlai arrived. After teleporting in the direction of the thunder for more than 10 minutes, he returned and brought Wang Xian over. This direction is the Eternal Heaven City. The Eternal Heaven City is involved. Wang Xian frowned as he looked at the direction where the lightning was pointing at. He got Lai to teleport in the direction of Tianheng City. More than 10 minutes later, Wang Xian arrived at Tianheng City. He raised an eyebrow as he looked at the response of the thunderbolt. The Eternal Heaven City actually participated in this. He thought to himself as he continued to sense with the thunderbolt. Among the 4 experts with radiant masks, there were 3 that he could confirm were experts from the Eternal Heaven City. Looking at the line of defense indicated by the thunderbolt, Wang Xian opened the map and took a look. There were many cities of the 100 Cities Alliance in that direction. He went directly to the teleportation array of the Eternal Heaven City. The 100 Cities Alliance naturally had their own teleportation array. Wang Xian could rush over quickly through the teleportation array. Subsequently, after more than an hour of teleportation and searching, he locked onto 4 cities. Eternal Heaven City, Grand Marquis City, Radiant Guardian Dragon City, and Gathering Sun City. In these 4 cities, Wang Xian sensed waves of lightning power. In other words, he could confirm that these 4 cities were involved. On the surface, the Eternal Heaven City only has 1 First-Order Universe Sovereign. They should be hiding their strength. On the surface, the Grand Marquis City has 2. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he set up a Devil Spirit altar with the Sky Array. Under Lai's lead, he returned to the cave abode on Lotus Peak. Sometimes, it was really convenient to use Lai for traveling. When Wang Xian returned from the cave abode, he hesitated for a moment before coming to the front of the cave abode. He swept his gaze across the Eternal Heaven Cave Abode. The Eternal Heaven Cave Abode was occupied by the Eternal Heaven City. Forget it. I'll inform Brother Azure Dragon Moon about this. I won't be involved in anything else for now. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. He took out the Universe AI and sent a message to Azure Dragon Moon. It allowed him to focus on investigating these 4 cities. Wang. At this moment, Wang Xian's Universe AI vibrated. He opened it and saw that it was a message from Prime Minister Turtle. Prime Minister Turtle wanted to deploy Lai. Many disciples of the Dragon Palace had been killed and they needed to be saved. Killed? He raised an eyebrow but wasn't too concerned. It was normal to be killed within the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. At this moment, Tianjin walked over from the side. Dragon King, I have news from my men. In a place within the chaotic continent, there are people hunting them. They are hunting those with the divine dragon bloodline. Tianjin walked over and suddenly said, Dragon which is being hunted? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and asked. Yes, Dragon King. I've checked just now. It's not just Dragon Witch. Other dragon species have encountered the same situation, especially around the 100 Cities Alliance. They don't care if you are a disciple of the ancestral dragon. As long as you have the divine dragon bloodline, they will kill you. I can find some information on the Universe AI. As he spoke, Wang Xian frowned slightly. That shouldn't be the case, right? He took out the Universe AI and did a search. Creatures with the divine dragon bloodline near the 100 Cities Alliance are being hunted. In the chaotic continent, the divine dragon bloodline and some bounty hunters are hunting the creatures with the divine dragon bloodline. The war between the divine dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon bloodline has erupted. The most terrifying internal strife of the divine dragon bloodline? As long as you have the divine dragon bloodline, you can exchange them for bounty after killing them. Soon, he received a piece of information. Wang Xian's eyes lit up as he read the information. Rather kill the wrong people than let them go? Or is there some other conspiracy? As long as they have the divine dragon bloodline, you can get bounty after killing them? Wang Xian frowned slightly. However, Wang Xian could understand a little. The war between the divine dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon bloodline had erupted. Internally, other than the divine dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon, the rest of the divine dragon bloodline were just small fries. It didn't matter even if they killed the wrong people. After all, it wasn't even 1% of the ancestral dragon bloodline. Chapter 34-39, Wang Xian was deep in thought. Now that the battle between the 2 divine dragon lineages had reached a stage where they had no scruples, the members of the Dragon Palace would also be implicated. Although Wang Xian had allowed the Dragon Palace to stand on the side of the ancestral dragon bloodline, it was only on this side. He still wasn't ready to participate completely. This was because a war of this level was not something they could participate in. Just a random second-order sovereign from the Holy Dragon clan would be able to suppress the Dragon Palace. How chaotic. I don't understand why the Sacred Dragon clan and the Ancestral Dragon clan are at such a loggerheads. Is it because of something else? Wang Xian shook his head helplessly. Although his current strength was not bad, there were still some things that he could not come into contact with. Dragon King, what should we do now? Tianjin frowned and asked Wang Xian. If it was a war between the ancestral dragon bloodline and the sacred dragons, the sacred dragon powerhouses wanted to kill everyone else with the divine dragon bloodline. The members of the Dragon Palace could even fish in troubled waters and kill the experts of the sacred dragon lineage. But now, it was not only the ancestral dragon's bloodline. There were also many bounty hunters. They wanted to obtain the mission rewards and hunt down the divine dragon bloodline. The members of the Dragon Palace did not know who the bounty hunter was. Moreover, every creature could be a bounty hunter. This made it difficult for him to move forward. In the end, the mission of the 100 Cities Alliance had a great impact. Let the members of the Dragon Palace be careful first. Also, inform Yaki Demonshaw and the rest to bring their subordinates into the Eternal Heaven City, Great Marquis City, Radiance Guard Dragon City, and Gathering Sun City to await further orders. Wang Xian ordered. Also, keep a lookout for the surroundings. It's Dragon King. Tianjin nodded. Wang Xian looked outside and shook his head slightly. He was prepared to cultivate for a while and search for treasures in the eternal river of heaven. Now, it seemed that his plan had fallen through. Time passed day by day. On the third day, Azure Dragon Moon came to pay a visit before leading the disciples of the Ancestor Dragon's bloodline away from the Lotus Flower Peak. They were going to rendezvous with some other experts. According to what he said, they did not counterattack for the time being because they could not contact the Ancestral Dragon leader and some of the Ancestral Dragon's experts for the time being. They did not dare to recklessly counterattack. Moreover, they had yet to find any evidence of the siege of the 4 major cities. Now they gathered together, waiting for orders. The Ancestral Dragon bloodline was somewhat passive. The entire Ancestral Dragon bloodline was already scattered and could not form a powerful force. Azure Dragon Moon bade farewell to Wang Xian. For the next period of time, Enlai continued to search for water lotus flowers. The Heaven Everlasting River had also calmed down. The situation in the outside world was getting more and more intense. The cultivators of the divine dragon bloodline were suffering from terrifying attacks. As the days passed, Enlai's harvest in the Eternal Heaven River became less and less. It wasn't even enough to condense a stage 9 water lotus. As time passed, the battle between the sacred dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon bloodline became more and more intense. There were even rumors that a powerhouse from the ancestral dragon's bloodline had killed his way into the sacred dragon's lair and an earth-shattering battle had ensued. No one knew the result of the battle, but they must have paid a heavy price. Yamata no Orokai and Demon Fiend arrived with 10,000 venom-horned dragons. The birth of the venom-horned dragon was very special. Just like the witch dragon, there could only be 10,000 of them. However, 10,000 was not a small number. Wang Xian had already sent them to the 4 major cities. Currently, the 4 major cities were rather quiet. The others did not know that they were secretly hunting the strong practitioners of the divine dragon lineage. Swish. After 5 years of peace and tranquility, Enlai appeared before Wang Xian on this day. Dragon King, something huge seems to have happened in the middle of the Eternal Heaven River. When I was in the surroundings just now, I felt a majestic water energy and vitality. Enlai said with a face full of surprise. Huh? What's going on? Wang Xian was taken aback and looked at Enlai. Enlai shook his head. Let's go and take a look. Wang. In the next moment, Wang Xian appeared at the bottom of the river where the water from the heavens fell under the shroud of Enlai. The moment he appeared, he could feel a majestic energy rushing towards him. This energy was accompanied by intense vitality and water energy. This is This energy is so familiar. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly as he looked ahead in shock. At a glance, he could not see any living creatures. However, the powerful energy was coming from the center. This energy was similar to the energy emitted by the water lotus. However, it was dozens of times more powerful than the stage 9 water lotus in his hand. It's the energy of the water lotus. Could there be a level 12 water lotus inside? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he guessed. However, he did not dare to enter it. This made him frown slightly. Wang. At this moment, Wang Xian felt a tremor in front of him. A beam of light was surging towards him. He was slightly taken aback and immediately flew upward. When he flew out of the water, he saw a huge shadow in the middle of the water from the heavens. It was a lotus that was emitting a blue glow. The petals were blossoming and it looked extremely realistic. A total of 12 petals. The entire shadow of the lotus covered the sky. The water from the heavens fell as though it was watering this beautiful lotus. Level 12 water lotus. It's a level 12 water lotus. It must be a level 12 water lotus to be able to create such power. Wang Xian's eyes widened and he was shocked. A level 12 water lotus was a treasure that was even more powerful than an inborn treasure. This strange phenomenon definitely had something to do with the level 12 water lotus. There were ripples on the surface of the water. Looking down from the sky, one would realize that these ripples formed a huge water lotus that swayed towards the surroundings. The speed of the water ripples was miraculous. Wang Xian took out the ancient drawing. When he saw the situation on it, he was slightly shocked. The ancient drawing emitted an intense glow. On it, there was a huge lotus that was born in the middle. It formed a picture of a level 12 water lotus. A level 12 water lotus is born. That universe dominator cosmic beast might have been waiting for it to be born. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He also wanted such a treasure. However, the possibility of getting it was close to zero. Such a treasure was guarded by a universe dominator cosmic beast. And Lai would also be killed instantly if he went over. There was no way he could escape. This is too big of a commotion. I reckon the entire Heaven Eternal River will know about it soon. I wonder how long it will take for the level 12 water lotus to be born. If it takes too long, I reckon countless experts will come over. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked ahead quietly. Chapter 3440. Daddy, Daddy, I'm awake. Daddy, there's a treasure ahead. Let's go get it. In the center of the Heaven Everlasting River, where the water from the sky fell, Wang Xian looked ahead in shock. Suddenly, a little spirit flew out of his body and said cheerfully, "Huh." Wang Xian was taken aback as he looked at the little fellow in astonishment. "Lingling, you're awake?" He smiled. Wang Lingling, Wang Xian's daughter and companion spirit, had been hiding in his body ever since he entered the inner parts of the chaotic continent. Later on, after Wang Xian obtained the lightning feather and fully integrated the unbeginning sacred wings, the little fellow also began to improve and went into hibernation. Subsequently, Wang Xian's realm improved again and she followed suit. She had not woken up since then. The strength of a companion spirit would improve along with the strength of the host. After hibernating for a few years, Lingling's assistance had already reached the level of a universe dominator. The reason why she had been hibernating for such a long time was mainly because Wang Xian's strength improved too quickly. After all, the little fellow had the body of a spirit and was not as insane as Wang Xian's 9 attributes. "You're awake. Lingling has improved a lot this time. Look at my wings. Aren't they beautiful?" Lingling flew in front of him and proudly showed off her wings. One was of the lightning attribute and the other was of the wind attribute. They were exactly the same as Wang Xian's unbeginning sacred wings. "Oh!" Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and patted her head. "Beautiful, beautiful." A companion spirit grew with the host and had the chance to inherit some of the host's abilities. Obviously, the little fellow had obtained great benefits from its advancement this time. "Daddy, let's go and get the treasure. There's a powerful treasure over there." Lingling pointed to the front and said, "There are treasures over there, but there's also a powerful giant star beast over there. We can't get close." Wang Xian shook his head. Giant star beast. Let's kill it and eat it. Lingling clenched her teeth and said. It's good enough that it doesn't eat us. Wang Xian pinched her cheeks speechlessly. But I like that treasure very much. Lingling pouted. Wang Xian was taken aback. He waved his palm and a 9th-tier water lotus appeared in front of Lingling. How about this? He asked with a smile. This is also very good and very beautiful. Did Dad give it to me? Lingling said excitedly. You can use it. Wang Xian looked at her with astonishment. Yes, it grew on the progenitor mother, and so do I. I can control it. As she spoke, she raised her small staff. The rank 9 water lotus began to shrink and fall onto the staff. Hehe, so beautiful. When she saw it, she waved her staff happily and spun it around happily. I still have a rank 9 water lotus. Do you want more? Wang Xian took out the other 4 water lotuses and suspended them in front of her. Yes, Linling wants them. I want to wear them on my head, hey. With a wave of the staff in her hand, water lotuses shrunk and landed on her head. Wang Xian was astonished. 4 water lotuses fell on her body, which could give her a significant boost. A companion spirit doesn't seem that powerful, does it? Is it because of the progenitor tree? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. The tree of life of the fairies was a treasure that was closest to the heavenly Yuan creation rank. However, it was still a far cry from the heavenly Yuan creation rank. A companion spirit nurtured by the progenitor tree would definitely not be comparable to an ordinary companion spirit in terms of potential and ability. Just like how she could control 4 rank 9 water lotuses now. Even though Lingling's abilities were all supporting skills, it was still extremely terrifying. With the 5 elements grindstone and Lingling, it wouldn't be a problem for him to deal with 8 to 9 companion spirits of the same level. I'm getting more and more awesome. Wang Xian couldn't help but laugh. Swish swish swish. At this moment, Wang Xian sensed an expert flying over from the surroundings. He took a look and saw a cave master from the Lotus Peak. That figure flew over and noticed Wang Xian as well. He stopped in his tracks and looked ahead with a shocked expression. It's definitely the birth of a rank 12 water lotus. Soon, his breathing quickened as he spoke. A rank 6 water lotus appeared in his palm. The energy was exactly the same. Wang Xian took a look and stood there quietly without any action. What a joke. A treasure like the rank 12 water lotus wasn't something they could covet. With that giant galactic beast there, unless an expert from a pinnacle race came, they would die. As time passed, more and more experts rushed over. They looked at the powerful energy coming from the front in shock. Their eyes were burning with passion. However, no one dared to enter. If this energy lasts for a long time, experts from pinnacle races in the universe might really come. After all, it's an inborn cardinal treasure, Wang Xian thought to himself. Days passed. 3 days later, the might of the rank 12 water lotus still hadn't disappeared. Some said that the birth of an inborn cardinal treasure required more time. Many experts had gathered at the center of the Heaven Everlasting River. More experts were rushing over after hearing the news. On the Universe AI, the situation here was also a hot topic. It even overshadowed the topic of the ancestral dragon and the sacred dragon lineage. Buzz buzz buzz. On the 4th day. Suddenly, everyone felt the sky brighten, accompanied by a special rhythm. The rhythm entered everyone's ears, as if it was a respectful welcome, as if it was the arrival of an emperor. This was the message that the rhythm brought. This is. Everyone's expression changed slightly. They immediately flew towards the surface of the river. Wang Xian moved without the slightest hesitation. When he came to the surface of the river, he looked around and was shocked. A great angel with 12 wings floated in the void, emitting a holy glow. He stared at the position below and didn't move. Wang Xian and the rest were very far away from him. However, they could still feel the terrifying energy contained in him. This was a great angel from the angel clan, a 12-winged angel. Daddy, I sense a familiar aura coming. Lingling, who was sitting on Wang Xian's shoulder, suddenly said. Swoosh. As soon as she finished her sentence, Everyone saw the starry sky above them seemed to be torn apart. A girl with a perfect face and a bow on her back appeared. She was wearing clothes made of branches and leaves. She looked at the 12-winged angel not far away with a calm gaze. When Wang Xian saw the figure that appeared again, his eyes narrowed. This was a great elf from the elf clan. This is a universe dominator expert. A true universe dominator expert. Great angel with 12 wings, arrow of life great elf. Exclamations of shock sounded around them. Chapter 3441. The experts from the peak races have appeared. In such a short period of time, 2 experts from the peak races have actually appeared. That's a 12-winged angel, a true universe dominator expert, the highest existence in our universe. Hiss, is that an elf lord? What a perfect existence. The elf race's arrow of life is the universe's strongest archer, capable of hunting the sun and moon and hunting the heavens and earth. Shocked voices came from the surroundings. Everyone looked at the 2 figures that had appeared. The water in the sky had already stopped flowing, as if it had encountered a terrifying resistance. The 2 figures stood there quietly, giving people the feeling that this was the center of the world. Holy, terrifying, and unbearable. A wave of reverence surged in everyone's heart. That big sister gave me a very familiar feeling. Ling Ling whispered into Wang Xian's ears. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. You guys belong to the same race. Life Sound Arrow, I want this water lotus. You can't compete with me. At this moment, the 12-winged angel in the center turned to the arrow of life and said calmly, don't worry about it. Archangel Gabriel, how would you know if you don't try? Besides, the one below has been guarding this place for billions of years. How could he let you take it away? The Life Sound Arrow spirit said faintly. Life Sound Arrow was the great fairy's name. Once the elf race stepped into the universe ruler realm, their surname was Life. If he doesn't let me, I'll kill him. Archangel Gabriel said confidently. He looked around and waved his arm. Boom boom boom. The next moment, a large number of angels appeared around them. There were 6-winged angels, 8-winged angels, and 10-winged angels. There were more than 1,000,000 heavens, and there were more than 100 powerful 10-winged angels. Hiss. This is the angel core, a powerful angel core. This is the power of a great 12-winged angel. This is too terrifying. Everyone in the surroundings looked at the million-strong angel army, their faces filled with horror. That terrifying aura made them shiver. 6-winged angels were the weakest, but they had at least the combat power of a universe venerable level 7, and the stronger ones could reach level 8. Every single one of them had the combat strength of a second-order universe sovereign. Some even had the combat strength of a third-order universe sovereign. This was a terrifying existence at the universe ruler level of a peak race. With a wave of his hand, an army of 1,000,000 appeared. However, this was also related to the characteristics of the angel race. The battle angels of the angel race were war machines. It was similar to the peak race, the skeleton race. The skeleton race's sovereign realm experts had an even larger legion. Lock down the surroundings. Kill anyone who dares to approach. Archangel Gabriel ordered calmly. It's Archangel Gabriel. All the angels immediately responded, and under the lead of over 100 10-winged angels, they flew to the surroundings and formed a huge encirclement. Some of the experts in the surroundings hurriedly retreated, their eyes filled with shock. This is a universe ruler level existence. Some experts murmured. Wang Xian looked over and his eyes were also shining brightly. At their peak, those universe ruler level dragon kings also possessed such might. In the starry sky, the ocean gave way to him, and countless experts of the dragon palace escorted him. When I kill this guy below, don't do anything. Archangel Gabriel looked at the elf and said calmly. The Life Sound Arrow frowned slightly. Its bright eyes seemed to be able to pierce through everything below it. Why don't you give it a try, and then I'll do something. Archangel Gabriel's lips curved slightly as he spoke confidently. If you can suppress it, I won't do anything. If you can't, don't blame me. The Life Sound Arrow replied plainly. All right, I'll remember it. Archangel Gabriel nodded his head. The rules set between experts would generally not be broken. Moreover, as a peak race in the universe, they would not recklessly get into a conflict. Archangel Gabriel stared below. With a flick of his palm, an archangel longsword and shield appeared in his hands. Are you going to hand over the water lotus to me, or do I have to suppress you? Archangel Gabriel stared below and said coldly, "Roar, roar." In the next moment, a furious roar came from below. Following which, a horrifying tentacle emerged from the water and attacked him. The entire tentacle was huge and exuded a horrifying aura. Holy light slash! Archangel Gabriel wielded his archangel greatsword and slashed at the tentacle. Boom! A dazzling radiance lit up the starry sky as the holy light long sword slashed at the tentacle. Fart! The holy light slash cut into the tentacle and a huge amount of blood flowed out. Anyone who wants to snatch my treasures shall die. At this moment, a sharp female voice came from below. Hundreds of horrifying tentacles rushed up from the bottom of the river again. Water droplets shot up into the sky. Every water droplet was as heavy as a mountain as they attacked Archangel Gabriel. Bam, bam, bam. Archangel Gabriel lifted his shield and the water droplets landed on it with a loud sound. Radiant sword of judgment. He waved his arm and the long sword in his hand stabbed downwards. The entire long sword seemed to have grown 100 times bigger in an instant as it descended from the sky. Boom! Below him, a horrifying whirlpool formed and sucked in the long sword. Following which, the whirlpool rushed out and swept towards Archangel Gabriel. You're courting death, stubborn fool. Angel nation, angel battle song, kill. He shook his body and spread his wings slightly. One by one, the shadows of angels condensed and charged downwards. The whirlpool was collapsing rapidly. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment, a humongous body appeared on the surface of the water. The humongous giant starry sky beast spanned over 10,000 kilometers. The length of its tentacles was horrifying. They could extend for hundreds of millions of kilometers. This giant starry sky beast was a few hundred times the size of a planet. It waved its tentacles, and the dense tentacles attacked Archangel Gabriel. Heavenly Kingdom, destroy. A shadow of the angel nation appeared behind him and a white light swung towards the tentacles. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The horrifying collision was heard once again. Wang Xian and the rest retreated far away. They were shocked to see the battle before them. Is this the strength of a true universe lord? The repercussions of the battle made them shiver. Get out of my territory, or I'll make you pay a terrible price. The giant starry sky beast roared again and the dense tentacles covered the sky. Incomparably violent. Chapter 3442. The star beast's body was completely revealed, its triangular head staring coldly at Archangel Gabriel. That monstrous aura made everyone feel suffocated. Archangel Gabriel stared at the giant star beast, his 12 angel wings flapping, his eyes calm. Retreat, I want the 12th rank water lotus. He stared at the giant star beast calmly, and his expression did not change at all. I have been guarding the 12th stage water lotus for billions of years, and you want to take it away? The angel clan, starting from today, I'm going to kill one on sight. The giant star beast let out a violent roar. As long as any living being in the great desolate continent reached the universe ruler realm, they would possess great intelligence. There was naturally no problem with speaking the universe language. The astral beast's 3 eyes were filled with killing intent as they stared at the great 12-winged angel. Humph! Even if you're a star behemoth, you'll still have to die for opposing the angels. Archangel Gabriel snorted disdainfully. In the next moment, the 12 angel wings on his back flapped, and he instantly appeared in the sky above the giant star beast. The star behemoth's tentacles also moved, as if the entire heaven and earth were enveloped by them. Boom, boom, boom. In the next moment, a terrifying collision sound was heard. I can't see anything. Wang Xian and the surrounding experts could no longer see the battle inside. All they could feel was waves of horrifying energy rushing towards them. They're too fast. My eyes can't keep up with them. Looking at the battle before him, Wang Xian's eyes narrowed and his face was filled with astonishment. It was too fast. When Archangel Gabriel flapped his wings, Wang Xian could no longer catch a glimpse of him. The enormous star behemoth was also enveloped by water power and light power. They retreated again and again. Even the angel core surrounding them immediately expanded their encirclement. So scary, they are so powerful. Lingling whispered into Wang Xian's ear as she shivered. The treasure is right below them. You don't dare to snatch it now, do you? Wang Xian smiled and said to her. I wouldn't dare. Lingling said obediently. Boom, boom, boom. The battle in the center continued as they watched the vast battle from afar. With Wang Xian's current strength, nothing would be left of him if he entered. This is too terrifying. Is this a battle between universe rulers? I wonder who will win. This battle is too terrifying. I think Archangel Gabriel will win. After all, he is the ruler of the angels. In the surrounding area, all the experts were discussing. The turbulence of this battle could even be seen clearly in Tianheng City. Buzz. Suddenly, everyone felt the sky brighten. A cross of light appeared in the sky. The entire cross blossomed with the power of light. When the cross appeared, the surrounding space seemed to disappear. Only the cross existed between heaven and earth. What is this? A carnate cardinal treasure? Wang Xian could sense an unusually terrifying aura from the cross. This cross seemed to be able to judge everything. Carnate treasure, cross of judgment. On the other side of the battlefield, the great elf-life sonic arrow looked at the cross of judgment with a solemn expression in his eyes. Every carnate cardinal treasure was extremely precious. Even for universe ruler level powerhouses like them, it was extremely difficult to obtain them. This required opportunity, luck, and strength. Just like now, the cosmic giant beast had been waiting for the birth of the 12th tier water lotus for billions of years. Now, it was still uncertain if it could obtain it. The cross of judgment appeared in the void and descended as though it could suppress everything. You birdmen from the angels. Do you think I didn't make any preparations over the past billions of years? You want to snatch the 12th tier water lotus? Even if I have to destroy myself, I won't let you snatch it away. Ha ha ha. 12th tier water lotus, bloom. At this time, a violent voice came from the center. The Tianheng River below was shaking violently. The river water began to change. In the vast area, the river water condensed into a pattern of a lotus. The lotus rose and headed towards the cross of judgment. Seeing this, the surrounding people were shocked. Wang Xian had a strange expression on his face. Mother! A humongous cosmic giant beast was calling itself Mother. This. The universe was vast and full of wonders. Beast, stop it. If you dare to destroy the foundation of the 12th tier water lotus, I will definitely kill you today. Archangel Gabriel was infuriated. The cross of judgment in the sky descended rapidly. Following which, angel wings condensed in the surroundings. As the angel wings flapped, they shot towards the center. Bam, bam, bam. Terrifying attacks came again. On the surface of the river, Wang Xian could feel the water turning red. That cosmic giant beast was injured. From the looks of it, it wasn't a light injury. Beast, scram now. Archangel Gabriel roared again. Suddenly, a long spear appeared above the cross of judgment. The surroundings of the long spear were pitch black, as though it was in another dimension. You actually have an inborn cardinal treasure. You must have been prepared for this. Ah! The cosmic giant beast's angry voice was heard. Sacred bone spear. Isn't that Archangel Zhu Ming's inborn cardinal treasure? Since he took it, it seems like Gabriel was prepared. The life sonic arrow of the great fairy frowned when she saw the sacred bone spear. She was at the same realm as Archangel Gabriel. However, the other party had an inborn cardinal treasure, the cross of judgment. This was the reason why she was wary of the other party. They were both from peak races. If the other party had an inborn cardinal treasure, she would definitely be at a disadvantage. Now, the other party had another inborn cardinal treasure. I might really be able to kill this cosmic giant beast. She murmured. Cosmic giant beasts didn't have a cosmos god kingdom. In other words, their gigantic bodies were the cosmos god kingdom. Therefore, they wouldn't be able to escape back to their cosmos god kingdom instantly. Facing the attack of 2 inborn cardinal treasures, Archangel Gabriel had a high chance of destroying it. Tier 12 Water Lotus, explode. Rhythm of water, water from the heavens. The cosmic giant beast roared. You're courting death. Archangel Gabriel roared furiously as well. Hualala. In the sky, the water from the heavens that shouldn't have fallen fell once again. What was different was that the water from the heavens carried a tremendous force as it charged towards Archangel Gabriel. Ha ha ha, you didn't expect this, right? I've been here for billions of years and have established a strong connection with the Tier 12 Water Lotus. If you want to snatch it away, you'll only get a damaged Tier 12 Water Lotus. The cosmic giant beast roared crazily. Chapter 34:43. If I can't get the 12th stage Water Lotus, I'll take your corpse and forge it into a powerful weapon. Archangel Gabriel was infuriated. The 12th stage Water Lotus was not an ordinary carnate cardinal treasure. The 12th stage Water Lotus could be absorbed or destroyed. It was obvious that the giant starry sky beast had some tricks up its sleeve. After all, it had been waiting for the 12th stage Water Lotus for billions of years, waiting for it to level up. You want to kill me? Dream on. The giant starry sky beast no longer wanted the complete 12th stage Water Lotus. It only wanted to take a part of the lotus and run away. HMPH, Cross of Judgment, Bone Spear, kill. Archangel Gabriel flapped his 12 wings and attacked the giant starry sky beast with the 2 powerful carnate cardinal treasures. On the surface of the water, numerous lotuses bloomed, blocking the attacks of the 2 carnate cardinal treasures. However, the 12th stage Water Lotus was not fully mature. If it was fully mature, it might be able to block the attacks. But now, it was not fully mature and had yet to be refined. Its power was greatly reduced. The bone spear penetrated the defenses and landed below. Roar, roar, roar. A blood-curdling scream could be heard as a humongous tentacle flew out from the bottom of the river. The tentacle had already been severed. Boom. Everyone could only see the water surging as a humongous figure tried to escape. Trying to escape. With the Water Lotus. You don't have a chance anymore. Archangel Gabriel chased after the figure immediately. Retreat. The surrounding angel army experts roared and continued to expand the encirclement. Hey! Up in the sky, the life sound arrow of the Great Spirit made a sound and disappeared in an instant. In the next moment, he appeared at the bottom of the river. With a wave of his hand, the roots flew into his hand. Life sound arrow, is that a treasure that belongs to me? Archangel Gabriel's angry voice could be heard from the front. I didn't break the agreement. You didn't suppress the giant starry sky beast. It's just some roots, not even 1/20th of the size of the lotus. Life sound arrow said plainly. Me. Archangel Gabriel snorted coldly and did not say anything else. He stared at the giant starry sky beast in front of him, his eyes filled with killing intent. The 12th stage Water Lotus was more valuable than an ordinary carnate cardinal treasure. Even if it was damaged, it would still be worth a fortune. Cross of Judgment, I want to judge the astral behemoth and behead it. Archangel Gabriel let out a low roar, and the Judgment Cross carnate cardinal treasure shone brightly. He injected a vast power of light into the Cross of Judgment. To his surprise, the illusory image of a star behemoth appeared in front of the Judgment Cross. The phantom's head was chopped off by a beam of light and fell to the ground. Ayo, ayo, ayo. In the next instant, an incomparably miserable scream was heard. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts when they saw this. What kind of attack is this? How could it be so terrifying? Decapitation without any contact at all. Is this the power of a primordial treasure? This strike was very slow, and everyone could see it clearly. This caused their hearts to tremble. Wang Xian was petrified by this bizarre attack. This attack was too strange, too terrifying. It was unbelievable. Hoo. He took a deep breath and looked forward. Damn it, that space beast isn't dead yet. He took away 2 lotus petals. Chase after him. His strength has already dropped below the universe ruler level. In less than a minute, an exasperated roar was heard. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, the million-strong angel army moved immediately. Swish. Suddenly, Wang Xian sensed a shadow flying towards him. The shadow flashed by. He looked over and was slightly taken aback. This is over here. Right at this moment, he felt a terrifying energy attack him. His expression changed drastically as he quickly dodged to the side. When he looked over, he saw 2 10-winged angels flying towards him. Ha! It disappeared over here. A part of the astral behemoth's body was escaping in this direction. The 2 10-winged angels stopped immediately and radiated the power of light from their eyes. Hey! The bloodline of the divine dragon is so strange and pure. What's that on his body? A companion spirit. One of the 10-winged angels fixed his gaze on Wang Xian. He was taken aback for a moment and astonishment flashed across his eyes. Swish! In the next instant, he did something that shocked Wang Xian. Flapping his 10 angel wings, he charged towards Wang Xian rapidly. Wang Xian's expression changed drastically. Fut! An angel's sword pierced through Wang Xian's body. The pure power of light instantly extinguished his vitality. Baddie! Baddie! How dare you kill my father? Baddie! Seeing this scene, Lingling shouted with bloodshot eyes. Wang! Her body trembled and the corpse that was wrapped around Wang Xian disappeared instantly. A companion spirit shared the same heavenly kingdom with its host. Naturally, it could take Wang Xian's body away. Ha! That companion spirit. That 10-winged angel raised his eyebrows slightly as his eyes were filled with shock and astonishment. However, he wasn't too bothered by it. He was just a first-order universe sovereign. To other races, he might be strong. But to him, he could kill him easily. Perhaps after a few days, he would forget about killing the other party. As for why he wanted to kill him, it was naturally because he possessed an incomparably pure divine dragon bloodline. Swish! Suddenly, a figure appeared at the spot where Wang Xian's body disappeared. The big elf, Life Sound Arrow, frowned as she looked around with doubt in her eyes. The aura of a half-living elf. No, I didn't sense wrongly. She mumbled. Great void light shackle. No one can leave. Wang. At this moment, the light shrouded everything. Everyone who was watching the battle couldn't escape in time. Their bodies froze. Only their eyes could move and their thoughts remained. Everything else seemed to have disappeared. The big elf glanced at Life Sound Arrow and Archangel Gabriel. She stepped into the void and disappeared. Baddie, baddie. How dare you kill Daddy? Lingling must kill him in the future. At the same time, within the Dragon Palace, Lingling was flying around Wang Xian's body. Her little face was filled with anger. From her body, green, blue and mysterious grayish energy entered Wang Xian's corpse. The location of his wound disappeared rapidly. Lingling's art of resurrection. Wake up, Daddy. She tapped the staff in her hand lightly. Lingling's talent, resurrection. Ha! Wang Xian, who was lying on the ground, suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Lingling, who was lying beside him with a pale face. Lingling, are you the one who resurrected me? He caressed Lingling's head and asked. Yes, Daddy. I'm tired. I need to sleep. Lingling nodded and replied weakly. Using the art of resurrection consumed a lot of her energy. Chapter 3444. I was killed. I was instantly killed by the 10-winged angel. That 10-winged angel should have the fighting strength of a third-order universe lord. I was saved by Lingling. Why did that 10-winged angel want to kill me? He seemed to say that I have a powerful divine dragon bloodline. Wang Xian sat on the dragon throne in the Dragon King Hall and mumbled. He was instantly killed and lost all consciousness. Fortunately, Lingling was there to bring him back to the Dragon Palace. Otherwise, even if he could resurrect through the progenitor tree, he would still suffer heavy losses. At the very least, he would need a large amount of resources to recover. It's because I have the divine dragon bloodline. It seems like the Angel clan has indirectly or even directly participated in the war between the sacred dragon and the ancestral dragon bloodline. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes revealed a violent murderous intent. There was a ball of anger burning in his heart. The other party did not care about innocent people. If it was the divine dragon bloodline, as long as he was not a disciple of the sacred dragon clan, he would kill him directly. In that case, The Dragon Palace was also a target to be killed. It seems like it's time for a good fight. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with murderous intent as he clenched his fists. Huh! Suddenly, he was taken aback as he sensed something leaving his body. If he was not in the Dragon Palace, he might not have sensed it. Swish! He moved his palm and grabbed towards his back. Roar, don't kill me. We are of the same root. Why are you in such a hurry? Don't kill me. A voice suddenly sounded and stunned Wang Xian. This is a giant space beast. He was taken aback. He waved his arm and a palm-sized tentacle appeared in front of him. There was a small head on the tentacle and it was very strange. Based on his senses, the energy contained in this giant space beast was only at the pinnacle universe supremacy realm. Although the energy was still huge, it was incomparable to when she was at her peak. In addition, Wang Xian could sense a familiar energy in his body. Water Lotus. His eyes shone as he recalled Archangel Gabriel's angry roar and the search of the million-strong angel legion. I did not expect a giant space beast to be in such a pathetic state. Also, I am not of the same root as you. Wang Xian stared at her and said with a smile. It's more or less the same. I was heavily injured by that birdman from the angel clan, and you were also almost killed by that birdman from the angel clan. We're all the same. The giant star beast said to him. This logic seems to be correct. Hehe, it's all thanks to me that you could escape. How are you going to repay me? Wang Xian smiled and said to her. Thank you, little brother with the divine dragon bloodline. When I recover my strength, I will protect you in the future. I will help you take revenge on the angel race. I will secretly kill their race and kill them all. The star behemoth said viciously. I don't know how long it will take for you to recover your strength. Hurry up, give me the 2 petals of the 12th stage water lotus in your body. Wang Xian pinched her body and said. No way, I can instantly recover to the second order universe sovereign realm after consuming this petal. I can't give it to you. A panicked look appeared on the star behemoth's face as it hastily roared. You have to do it even if you can't. I'm your savior. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have been able to escape. You have to repay your savior. Hurry up. Wang Xian said forcefully. The 2 petals of the 12th stage water lotus were definitely priceless. In fact, Wang Xian could even make a breakthrough after consuming them. He naturally had to get his hands on such a treasure. As for what the star behemoth said, Wang Xian didn't even care. By the time she recovered, he might even have the strength of a 4th order universe sovereign. No, no way. Brat, give me enough resources to recover now. I will definitely protect you in the future. In this universe, other than those pinnacle races, no one will dare to offend you. The star behemoth roared immediately. If you don't give it to me, I can only do it myself, Wang Xian said plainly. With a wave of his palm, the petals of the water lotus drilled out of her body gradually. No, you despicable brat. Do you know what you are doing? I'm a giant star beast water tentacle. You are courting death. The giant star beast water tentacle king screamed miserably. I'll kill you if you continue talking nonsense, Wang Xian said plainly. Wang Xian said plainly. 2 flower petals that contained boundless energy appeared before him. Looking at the water lotus, Wang Xian's eyes were burning with passion. Although he was killed this time, the reward was totally worth it. Should I devour it directly or let it fuse with the 9th stage water lotus? Wang Xian was hesitant as he pondered. If he devoured it directly, his strength would increase immediately. This would allow him to improve tremendously. He wouldn't dare to say that he could improve by 2 levels, but he should be able to get close to it. However, it would be a waste to devour it directly. After all, such a treasure was extremely rare. It could only be found by chance. Forget it, I'll leave it here. I can get the resources to improve myself from other places, Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his hand, the 2 petals flew towards the progenitor tree. Huh! At the side, the giant star beast water tentacle king noticed the progenitor tree. When it saw the petals of the 12th stage water lotus landing on the progenitor tree, it widened its eyes instantly. This is impossible. This is impossible. The sapling of the Heaven Yuan Fortune Divine Tree. How is this possible? It widened its 3 eyes and roared in disbelief. The Heaven Yuan Fortune Divine Tree was a treasure that no ordinary living being could obtain. To it, Wang Xian was just a kid. To think that a kid's god nation would possess such a heaven-defying treasure. Nothing is impossible. Water Tentacle King, what do you think I should do to you? He smiled and stared at the Water Tentacle King with flickering eyes. You. I'm willing to submit. Big brother, I'm willing to submit to you. I'm willing to submit to you. However, to Wang Xian's surprise, the giant star beast laid down before him and submitted. This stunned him slightly. Where's this guy's integrity? However, he had some guesses. The main reason why the Water Tentacle King submitted to him was because of the progenitor tree. Otherwise, she wouldn't have submitted so easily even if her strength had been greatly reduced. If you want to submit, devour this drop of blood essence. Wang Xian naturally wouldn't reject a giant star beast that had the potential to become a universe lord. She was only severely injured now. As long as she had sufficient strength, she would be able to recover completely. It wasn't easy to break through to the universe lord realm. Even the pinnacle races would find it extremely difficult to break through. For example, the ancestral dragon leader hadn't been able to break through. Chapter 34-45, Greetings, Dragon King. The Dragon King will definitely be able to soar through the 9 heavens in the future and rebuild the divine dragon's glory, standing at the pinnacle of the universe. The Water Tentacle King submitted. As an old fellow who had lived for who knew how many years, she understood the situation in front of her. At the same time, he also understood what a divine tree of the heavenly Yuan fortune level represented. It was rumored that in the universe, each attribute could only give birth to one heavenly Yuan creation. In other words, the nature of the heavenly Yuan creation in the universe was different. As long as there was a water elemental treasure, there wouldn't be a second water elemental treasure in the universe. Although it was only a rumor, the possibility was very high. Because in the universe, there were less than 3 known heavenly Yuan fortunes. The Water Tentacle King had lived for a very long time, but it had never seen a divine essence creation grade treasure. Now, they actually met here. On top of that, she was severely injured, so it would probably take a long time for her to recover. Submitting to the Dragon King might be of great benefit to her. Of course, part of the reason was that if he didn't submit, he might be killed. Wang Xian looked at the Water Tentacle King speechlessly. It was a void beast at the universe ruler realm after all, yet it was so good at licking. It was as thick as Yamata no Orokai and Mosha. There's vitality fluid over there. You should recover first. Wang Xian said to her. Vitality liquid? The life fluid of the elves. The Water Tentacle King paused for a moment, and then flew over with a smile. Moonlight Bay of the Ancient Pond. Wow, Dragon King, you're really awesome. You even have such a treasure. But Dragon King, since you already have an accompanying spirit, there's no need for me to make such a fuss. The Water Tentacle King's figure flashed, directly entering the Ancient Pond's moon bay. He had absorbed all the vitality liquid he had accumulated in the past few years. Roar roar, I'm about to recover the strength of a first-order universe ruler. She let out a low roar, her face revealing a look of excitement. Wang Xian swept a glance at her and his eyes flickered. This Water Tentacle King would be a capable assistant for a long time to come. Her bloodline and physique were no weaker than the peak races. When I recover to my peak, I will definitely make the angel race pay 100 times the price. The Water Tentacle King continued to roar. Angel race. Wang Xian nodded, his eyes filled with murderous intent. However, seeking revenge on the Angel clan was simply courting death. With his current strength, any 10-winged angel from the Angel clan could destroy the Dragon Palace. Not to mention meeting those archangels. The current Dragon Palace was not even a match for the Angel clan's subsidiary clans. I can forget about taking revenge on the Angel race for now. However, this lesson has taught me that I have to increase my strength as quickly as possible. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes were filled with eeriness. The fastest way for the Dragon Palace to improve its strength was through war. By killing enemies, one could obtain resources. The Dragon Palace was going to intervene in the war between the sacred dragon and the ancestral dragon bloodline. Wang Xian closed his eyes slightly. The current sacred dragon bloodline, a subsidiary race of the angel race, was not something that the Dragon Palace could contend with. But he could start with the 100 Cities Alliance. He already knew that the 4 cities of the 100 Cities Alliance had participated in the war. Moreover, the Orokai and the others had already infiltrated the interior of the 4 cities. After a few years, other than the movements of the Universe Lord level experts, everything else was under the control of the Dragon Palace. The sacred dragon bloodline is the lackey of the Angel clan, and some of the cities of the 100 Cities Alliance are the lackeys of the sacred dragon bloodline. I'll start with you guys. One day, I'll slaughter my way into the Angel clan. Wang Xian murmured. He took out the Universe AI and immediately contacted the Orokai and the others. Dragon King, we already have all the information about Eternal Sky City, Grand Marquis City, Radiance Guardian Dragon City, and Gathering Sun City, including their secret legions. However, we don't know the whereabouts of the city lords and sovereigns. The Yaki Devil Fiend quickly sent a message. In a few years, they had infiltrated the 4 cities. The Orokai and the others had even parasitized the important army commanders of the 2 cities. They had basically obtained all the information in the cities. Prime Minister Turtle, gather the spiky dragon species and ask them to return. Wang Xian immediately issued an order. Yes, Dragon King. Within the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle, who was handling some matters, immediately responded respectfully. The Spinosaurus species that had already stepped into the inner regions of the chaotic continent to train immediately returned to the Dragon Palace after receiving the news. Roving Demon received the news and returned immediately. Greetings, Dragon King. Roving Demon came to the Dragon King Palace and bowed respectfully. The current Roving Demon had the pinnacle combat strength of the universe. Other than him, the spiky dragon species had 200,000 members. Among these 200,000 members, the weakest had the combat strength of a Universe Lord. Among them, other than Roving Demon who was at the pinnacle, there were 2 rank 9 and 10 rank 8. There were not many high-level combat strength. After all, the spiky dragon species was just one of the many dragon species in the Dragon Palace. In less than half an hour, all 200,000 spiky dragon species had gathered. The eerie light and darkness blended together perfectly, and their bodies were filled with a cold and gloomy aura. What kind of dragon is this? Such an eerie aura. It feels even more eerie than the eerie assassins of the Nether race and the Devil race. Oh right, it should be the spiky dragon species. But why are there so many? The Divine Dragon race only had 1,000 spiky dragons at their peak. There are actually 200,000 of them. At the side, the knowledgeable water tentacle demon muttered, her eyes filled with shock. During the battle of the Divine Dragon race's extinction, she was already a Universe Lord level space beast. She knew a lot about the pinnacle races, including some terrifying existences of the pinnacle races. She knew about the spiky dragon species. The Divine Dragon race was a eerie and terrifying killer, wandering between light and darkness. But this tiny dragon palace, how could there be so many terrifying dragons? This was a complete toppling of her knowledge. This was a pinnacle dragon species, comparable to the pinnacle races. If she remembered correctly, the Divine Dragon race only had 1 million pinnacle bloodline existences, and most of them were pure divine dragons. My boss is not simple. The water tentacle demon king muttered. She suddenly felt that her only advantage now was that she could recover to the Universe Lord level. If the Dragon King matures, the Divine Dragon will definitely roar once more. She thought to herself. The more she understood about the Dragon Palace, the more shocked she was. All spiky dragon species, get ready. Next, you will be carrying out an assassination. Wang Xian's gaze swept across all the spiky dragon species as he spoke with a tinge of killing intent. Chapter 3446, Wang Wang Wang. To Wang Xian, Eternal Sky City was a quiet and harmonious city. Wang Xian had a good impression of Eternal Sky City. This place was more beautiful and peaceful. At a place in front of Tianheng City, strange figures appeared one after another. Dragon King, The Orokai has sent us all the information. Roving Demon reported to Wang Xian from the side. Wang Xian nodded. Let's go in. As he spoke, he waved his arm and all the Spinosaurus species entered the nest. Kill the lackeys of the angel race. Kill them one by one. The Aqua King laid on Wang Xian's shoulder and roared with a hideous look. All right, you have to conceal yourself well. Don't let the angel race find out. If they do, we're doomed. Wang Xian reminded the Aqua King. Don't worry, Dragon King. I, the Aqua King, am one of the strongest galactic beasts in the universe. I have my own innate ability. Even the giant Gabriel wouldn't be able to recognize me when I change my appearance. The Aqua King said confidently. That's great. Wang Xian smiled faintly. With a jerk of his body, he flew straight ahead. After successfully entering the Eternal Heaven City, a guard flew in front of him. Dragon King, please follow me. Under the lead of the venom-horned dragon that was parasitizing the guardian of the Eternal Heaven City, Wang Xian headed towards the center of the city. After passing through the heavily guarded areas, Wang Xian arrived at a mansion. Dragon King. Entering the mansion, another venom-horned dragon that had been living in Eternal Heaven City's body came over and bowed respectfully. Wang Xian had been setting up the 4 major cities for several years. Orokai and the rest had long penetrated deep into their territory. In Eternal Sky City, Orokai was currently living in the body of a son of the city lord. He knew most of the secrets. Dragon King, it's very safe here. We can summon our brothers from the Spinosaurus species. That venom-horned dragon species member continued respectfully. All right. Wang Xian nodded. With a wave of his arm, 200,000 Spinosaurus species appeared around him. This is the information of all the army members in Eternal Sky City, including the experts in their grottos. The venom-horned dragon relayed the information to each of the Spinulosa species. Wang Xian drew a devil spirit sacrificial altar and an Lai appeared. Given Lai a portion. In terms of assassination, Dark Ardent could easily kill those weaker than him. He was even more terrifying than Spike Dragon. Since he was going to strike this time, Wang Xian was going to annihilate the entire Tianheng city. Since they had participated in the war, they had to pay the price. In the face of a race war, no one was innocent. 10 minutes later, at this moment, Wang Xian received a message from the Universe AI. The message was sent by Orokai. 10 minutes later, he would shut down the detection array of the entire Eternal Heaven City. If he wanted to recover, he would need at least half an hour. Moreover, the City Lord had to personally take action. Without the detection formation, it would be even easier to assassinate Spike Dragons. The Eternal Sky City was very strong, but the number of universe supremacies and above was only about 300,000. 300,000 wasn't a small amount. After all, the strength of the Eternal Sky City was considered pretty good among the high-level races. Not every race had the horrifying means of improvement like the Dragon Palace. The number of universe supremacies in the Dragon Palace was huge. But thinking that an archangel could easily annihilate the Dragon Palace with a wave of his hand, Wang Xian had nothing to be proud of. The quality of experts in the Eternal Sky City was much higher than that of the Dragon Palace. Even in terms of overall strength, excluding Wang Xian's Heaven Array, Water Dragon Chief, and the other two, the entire strength of the Dragon Palace was only slightly higher than that of the Eternal Sky City. The main reason was that although the universe supremacies in the Dragon Palace had high combat strength, most of them were at the Void God Emperor realm. Universe supremacies at the rank 1 and rank 2 were more common. But the Eternal Sky City was different. According to the message sent by Orokai, they had more than 20 pinnacle universe supremacies. This was more than the Thunder Light Race, Great Thunderous Academy, and the others combined. The Dragon Palace didn't have that many pinnacle universe supremacies. I'm going to do it myself. Wang Xian smiled as he looked at the message sent by Orokai. This message was about the pinnacle universe supremacies in the Eternal Sky City. There were 20 of them. Orokai didn't know where the rest were. But this was enough. 10 minutes passed quickly. Wang Xian waved his hand and the unbeginning saint wings appeared on his back. He began to move. Based on his current speed, only the Castellan and the First Order sovereigns in the Eternal Sky City would be able to catch up to him. No one else could. Even if he was flying in the sky. In fact, no one would be able to sense him even if he were to conceal himself and the detection formation was turned off. With Orochi's precise location, he came to the nearest one. His yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes penetrated a palace and landed on a lion demon. This was an expert in the Eternal Sky City. Pu. In the next moment, he appeared in front of the lion demon and killed him instantly. He didn't even have time to react before he died. It could be said that he died painlessly. With a wave of his arm, Wang Xian kept the corpse and disappeared. Hey, Dragon King, I sensed a water attribute treasure. I'm going to get it. At this moment, the Water Tentacle King suddenly spoke. Don't get discovered. Wang Xian ignored her and said directly. Don't worry, Dragon King. The Water Tentacle King moved and flew away immediately. Wang Xian flapped the unbeginning saint wings and came to the second pinnacle universe supremacies. Using the same method, the other party was killed before they could even sense anything. With Wang Xian's current strength, he could even kill a First Order universe sovereign if they weren't paying attention, let alone them. Ah, there's an assassin. Just as Wang Xian killed the 15 pinnacle supremacies of the universe, a faint voice suddenly came from behind him. Have I been discovered? Wang Xian murmured. He wasn't surprised. The success rate of assassination by the Spinosaurus wasn't 100%. Some experts had powerful treasures. He didn't stop and continued on to the next target. Who dares to cause trouble in the Eternal Sky City? Courting death. An angry roar came from the front. Wang Xian saw a burly old man flying over on a cloud. Huh! Hehe, just in time. Wang Xian chuckled. His figure flashed and the old man on the cloud disappeared instantly. His corpse was kept in the nest. Ah! At this time, another scream was heard. Clearly, another Spinosaurus had been discovered. It's going to end soon. Wang Xian didn't waver and continued on to the next target. Chapter 3447. Someone is assassinating the experts of Tianheng City. Someone is assassinating us. In the peaceful and quiet Tianheng City, screams and exclamations were heard. As the noise increased, someone sensed that something was amiss. They flew to the sky and shouted. This voice resounded throughout the entire Tianheng City. What's going on? Someone is assassinating the experts of Tianheng City. How is this possible? Who dares to act recklessly? This is weird. There is a battle over there. Why didn't the defensive array of Tianheng City activate? Detection array and alarm array? What's going on? Oh no, there is another battle over there. What's going on? Where are the guards of Tianheng City? Where are the Eternal Heaven City's army and the experts of the city? Along with a few screams, the residents of Tianheng City sensed that something was amiss. One by one, they shouted in horror. The originally peaceful city was now in an uproar. Swish swish. Who is it? How dare you cause trouble in our Tianheng City? All the guards of Tianheng City, fly to the sky immediately. All the experts of universe supremacy level in the army, fly to the sky. At this moment, a figure flew to the sky from below. He was emitting a terrifying aura. This was a pinnacle universe supremacy expert. He was also a pinnacle universe supremacy expert that Orochi did not have any information on. Swish swish swish. It's Sir Yarrow. Within Tianheng City, some experts heard the order and flew towards him. Oh! Wang Xian smiled when he heard this voice. He flapped his wings and flew towards that direction. Damn it, what's going on? Why are there so few experts in our Tianheng City? Where are the other pinnacle universe supremacies? What's with the array in the city? Lord Yarrow flew into the sky and looked down at the entire city. When he saw the experts of the Eternal Heaven City flying over, he started to feel nervous. The pinnacle universe supremacies did not appear and the array did not respond. This gave him a bad feeling. Boom. However, at this moment, he felt death looming over him. It's over. His heart sank and his eyes were filled with despair. Boom. A wave of destructive energy swept towards them in an instant. This terrifying energy covered a radius of 1 billion kilometers. No. Within Tianheng City, the experts who were flying up into the sky had all become targets at this moment. Their actions were completely suicidal. The power of annihilation swept through them, turning them into corpses. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of universe supremacies were killed. Buzz. At this moment, everyone in the entire Eternal Heaven City raised their heads and looked at this scene in shock. Hundreds of thousands of experts were actually killed in an instant. Not good, an expert has invaded our Eternal Heaven City. Run, run. Someone is attacking our Eternal Heaven City. Horrified voices rang out, and the entire Eternal Heaven City instantly fell into panic. One by one, the figures flashed and quickly escaped from this place. Who is it? Who dares to attack our Eternal Sky City? Who dares to kill our disciples? I'm going to kill you. Just at this moment, the experts of Eternal Sky City rushed over after sensing something. Their faces were filled with rage. The City Lord of the Eternal Heaven City flew above the Eternal Heaven City. His face was extremely gloomy as he sensed the surroundings. He could sense that there weren't many supremacies left in the entire city. He couldn't even sense a single pinnacle universe venerable. This made him feel incredulous and fearful. How could this be possible? Such a huge incident had happened in the Eternal Heaven City, and yet he didn't sense it at the start. Swish. At this time, he felt a terrifying energy attacking him, and his face changed drastically. Buzz. A fan appeared in front of him, and he dodged to the back. Boom. But in the next moment, the terrifying energy collided with the fan, causing him to spurt out fresh blood, and his body flew backward. Not good. Tianxing, attack. The City Lord's eyes were bloodshot, and he shouted in horror. Swish, stop. Who are you? Our 100 Cities Alliance won't let you off for killing our disciples. At this time, another figure flew out from a blessed place below, and attacked Wang Xian. Indeed, you're one of the people with the light mask who besieged Qing Longyu previously. Wang Xian's dragon eyes swept across this first-order universe sovereign expert, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Who are you? The expert called Tian Xing from the Eternal Heaven City squinted his eyes when he heard Wang Xian's words. Who am I? Haha, Tian Xing, right? You killed the ancestral dragon bloodline, and your Eternal Heaven City is the leader of the sacred dragon bloodline. You have to pay the price. Wang Xian spoke with a murderous look. With a swift move, he launched an attack at Wang Xian. At the side, the 5 Elements' great grindstone emitted terrifying power, and attacked the City Lord. You're talking nonsense. Tianxing's face changed drastically, and he retorted loudly. It doesn't matter if I'm talking nonsense or not. Anyway, you're going to die today. Wang Xian roared, and his body emitted blazing flames. The body of a true dragon allowed him to conceal his aura. Even if news of this spread, people would only guess that he was a fire attribute expert. Trying to kill me. Wishful thinking. Tianxing's face changed drastically, and a huge lightning hammer appeared in his hand. Swish. But in the next moment, he realized that Wang Xian had disappeared in front of him, and this shocked him. It's you. The familiar terrifying speed reminded him of the expert who rescued Qing Longyu. He knew this was bad. He raised his lightning hammer, and terrifying lightning pillars descended, surrounding him. TSK. Wang Xian snorted as he circled around the City Lord rapidly. He wanted to see how long the other party could last. Shit, I'm already severely injured, and I haven't recovered yet. Damn it. Tianxing sensed the surroundings, and his heart sank. He moved, and without hesitation, he wanted to escape. Trying to escape when you're severely injured. Wang Xian naturally saw the state of Tianxing, and his eyes were filled with disdain. Unleashing the unbeginning sacred wings to the extreme, he came to the side of Tianxing, and his arms turned into dragon claws, tearing at him. Wang. Tianxing quickly raised his lightning hammer to block, but Wang Xian had already disappeared in the next moment. It's over. He was shocked, and despair was written all over his face. No. A fearful scream was heard. Fart. The dragon claws pierced through Tianxing's body. Wang Xian snorted coldly, and kept his corpse into the mother nest. In the next moment, he turned and attacked the city lord of Tianxing City. What? The city lord of Tianxing City was struggling to deal with the attacks of the five elements' great grindstone. When he sensed what was happening, his expression changed. It's over. The city lord of Tianxing City is finished, and so is he. Chapter 34-48, Phut. The city lord of Eternal Sky City was strong and had innate spiritual treasures in his possession. But it was still insufficient in front of Wang Xian. With Wang Xian and the five elements grindstone, it would be extremely difficult for someone of the same level to escape. Unless he had the wings of the King of Angels. But obviously, they couldn't have too many of such treasures. Wang Xian's dragon claw pierced through the body of the city lord and he revealed a cold expression. 2 first-order sovereigns of the Eternal Sky City were killed. This represented the destruction of the entire Eternal Sky City. Run, run, run. The city lord is dead. The entire Skyheng City is finished. The entire Skyheng City is finished. Below, those who could instantly escape back to their own divine kingdoms had all done so. Even if they couldn't escape instantly, they still flew out in terror. They were afraid that the experts above would destroy the entire city. That wasn't impossible. In the entire city, countless people flew in all directions, fleeing for their lives. Wang Xian didn't chase after them. Killing the experts of the Eternal Sky City was enough. Dragon King. At this time, the figures of roving demon Orokai flew over, and their faces were full of excitement. Dragon King, I've taken control of the blessed land of grottos. I've also ambushed and killed a few of them. Orokai said with a beaming face. Very good. How's the collection of resources in Eternal Sky City? Wang Xian revealed a smile as he asked. Everything is under control. Dragon King, war is still the best way for us to improve. The resources in Eternal Sky City are too abundant. Orokai said excitedly. The Eternal Heaven City had a lot of resources, much more than the Dragon Palace. It was enough for them to improve tremendously. It's enough for me to break through. Wang Xian needed a lot of resources to break through. Previously, when he wiped out the Great Lei Institute, he kept some of the divine herbs and elixir pills for himself. Coupled with the resources in Eternal Sky City, it was more than enough to improve his strength. However, it might be troublesome to break through again after that. But he wasn't in a hurry. This time, after wiping out Eternal Sky City and finding the Heavenly Star God Country, the Dragon Palace would have 3 more first-order sovereigns. The rest of the corpses could increase the Dragon Palace's strength. War could improve the Dragon Palace rapidly. However, this kind of advancement also came with a huge risk. If the 100 Cities Alliance knew that the Dragon Palace was the culprit, the 100 Cities Alliance could annihilate the Dragon Palace before the Dragon Palace could prove that the Eternal Heaven City was involved in hunting the ancestral dragon bloodline. He had been forced to use war to increase his strength. Wang Xian wanted to carve out a path of blood and slaughter his way to the angel tribe. Command all the members to collect all the corpses and all the treasures. We'll leave Tianheng City as soon as possible. Although the teleportation array of Tianheng City had been cut off, they still had to leave this place as soon as possible to prevent any accidents. After all, they were currently facing the powerful 100 Cities Alliance. Let's move on to the next target. 2 hours later, Wang Xian and the rest left Tianheng City. He did not stop or enhance his strength. Just now, Wang Xian had received both good and bad news. The bad news was that the Water Tentacle King had devoured a large amount of resources, so it might not even have enough resources to upgrade itself. The good news was that her strength had recovered to the First-Order Universe Sovereign Realm. She could be a powerful helper. Wang Xian did not linger. Instead, he headed for another city. On the surface, Grand Marquis City had 2 First-Order Universe Sovereigns. Now, Demon Fiend had infiltrated their territory. According to Demon Fiend's information, there were only 2 experts in Grand Marquis City. One of them was confirmed to be severely injured and was recuperating in the blessed Grotto Heaven. To prevent any accidents, Wang Xian was prepared to act swiftly to see if he could annihilate all 4 cities in one go. In that case, the Dragon Palace's strength would increase significantly. Wang. and Lai was shuttling through the air at high speed, bringing Wang Xian towards Grand Marquis City. Wang. When they arrived at a city, Wang Xian entered the teleportation array and arrived at Grand Marquis City. At this moment, only 4 hours had passed since Tianheng City was annihilated. Within 4 hours, Grand Marquis City had received news of Tianheng City's annihilation. The 100 Cities Alliance had received the news the moment Tianheng City was annihilated. Tianheng City is annihilated. Was it done by the ancestral dragon bloodline? According to some information, it was done by the experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline. They assassinated a large number of experts in Tianheng City. The Tianheng City Lord and Lord Tianxing, who had been in hiding, were killed by them. However, this is still uncertain. Based on our analysis, the ancestral dragon bloodline does not have any powerful assassins. Of course, the possibility of it being the ancestral dragon bloodline is still very high. However, we cannot rule out the possibility of other forces taking advantage of the situation to frame the ancestral dragon bloodline. At this moment, within the Grand Marquis City Lord's mansion, the City Lord sat on the throne as a group of experts reported to him. The annihilation of Tianheng City was no small matter to the 100 Cities Alliance. They had to get to the bottom of this. On the surface, Tianheng City did not participate in the hunt for the ancestral dragon bloodline. The experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline could not simply kill the members of the 100 Cities Alliance. From today onwards, get all the armies and city guards to stand guard to prevent any accidents from happening. The City Lord of Grand Marquis City ordered. Yes. Below, the subordinates immediately responded. Could it be the revenge of the ancestral dragon bloodline? Could it be that the ancestral dragon bloodline found out about the attack on Azure Dragon Moon and the things we did in the dark? That shouldn't be the case. The chances of them finding out are extremely low. The City Lord of Grand Marquis City muttered to himself. Hey! At this moment, he sensed something and immediately looked down. What's going on? Someone opened the defensive array of the blessed heavenly grotto. His expression changed slightly. The City Lord's mansion was located within the blessed heavenly grotto. This blessed heavenly grotto was a defensive type. The moment it was opened, even a second-order universe sovereign wouldn't be able to break through. However, this blessed heavenly grotto's defensive array would only be opened at the last moment. Why did it suddenly open? Furthermore, there were only 5 people who knew how to open the array and could enter the blessed heavenly grotto. Su. At this time, the City Lord of Grand Marquis City felt a terrifying attack heading towards him. The sudden attack caused his expression to change. Wang. With a wave of his hand, a magic staff appeared in his hand. Pu. However, his speed was a little slow. Incomparably sharp claws tore through half of his body. His eyes were filled with fear as he tried to escape. However, at this moment, a tentacle pierced through his body. Instant kill. Chapter 3449, TSK, a lackey of the angels. Courting death. After killing the Grand Marquis City Lord, the Water Tentacle King revealed a look of disdain. One day, I, the Water Tentacle King, will slaughter my way to the angel race and make Archangel Gabriel pay a terrible price. There's another one in the grotto heaven below. I'll kill him. With a swift move, he headed straight for the core of the grotto heavens and blessed lands below. Demon Fiend had told him everything about the entire Grand Marquis City, including every place. This made it easy for him to move around. Moreover, he had Demon Fiend as his spy. Who's there? When Wang Xian arrived at the core of the grotto heaven, a figure bathed in flames opened his eyes and picked up his staff. Sorcerer? It's you. Wang Xian recognized the figure immediately. It was the sorcerer who had besieged Azure Dragon Moon previously. The Grand Marquis City Lord was also an array sorcerer. Therefore, it was easy for Wang Xian to kill him. Sorcerers who specialized in array sorcerers were most afraid of close combat and assassination. Moreover, he had yet to fully recover from his injuries. Swoosh. The unbeginning saint wings flapped and Wang Xian appeared before him at a terrifying speed, swiping his dragon claws. It's you. The Grand Marquis City sorcerer recognized Wang Xian as well. Last time, they had failed to take down Azure Dragon Moon, And they had almost been trapped there, all because of this terrifying guy. Die. Wang Xian said emotionlessly. How did you find this place? He roared with his eyes wide open, his face filled with disbelief. The staff in his hand released a powerful defense. This was an array that had been set up in advance, just in case. A small array can't save your life. The staff blocked Wang Xian's attack, but the Aqua Tentacle King was still lying on Wang Xian's shoulder. After all, she was once a true universe dominator galactic beast. Even though she had just recovered the fighting strength of a first-order universe dominator after being severely injured. Her attacking power and fighting strength weren't something an ordinary first-order universe dominator could match up to. Not even the pinnacle races. Unless the other party had several innate spiritual treasures. Fat. The wizard from Grand Hu City was easily killed by the Tentacle King. When Wang Xian and the Aqua Tentacle King worked together, no one of the same level could withstand a round of attacks. Demon Fiend, begin the operation immediately. After killing Da Hu City Lord and the rest, Wang Xian issued an order. Woo woo woo. All experts and soldiers in Grand Marquis City, head to the Castellan Mansion immediately. An urgent alarm resounded in the sky above the Grand Marquis City. All the people and disciples heard the alarm and their expressions changed drastically. They looked in the direction of the City Lord Manor and saw that the Grotto Heaven's defensive array formation had suddenly been opened. Their expressions changed drastically. What happened? Hurry to the City Lord's mansion. Did something happen? Or is it because of the destruction of the Eternal Heaven City, and the City Lord has some instructions? No, even if it is an instruction, he shouldn't have sounded the alarm. One by one, the experts and disciples of the legions flew over. Wang Xian stood quietly at a corner of the City Lord residence, waiting for their arrival. This time, because the Great Marquis City's expert was of a higher status, it was easier to deal with. He just needed to wait here quietly. 10 minutes later, all the experts and disciples of the Grand Marquis City gathered outside. They looked at the Grotto Heaven, which was shrouded by the defensive array formation, in disbelief. Rumble. However, at this moment, a wave of horrifying energy swept towards them. The sudden attack caused all the experts in Grand Marquis City to reveal looks of terror. Run, run! The City Lord and the rest are in trouble. Some pinnacle supremacies of the universe shouted frantically with fear written all over their faces. Rumble. However, the horrifying attack had already arrived. The 5 elements grindstone was suspended in the air. A long river had obliterated everything. Wang Xian looked on emotionlessly without any emotions. This bit of casualties was nothing to the experts of the divine dragon lineage who were being hunted down. The attack came and went quickly. All the elite experts of Grand Marquis City were killed. At this moment, the rest of the citizens and tourists in the city were completely dumbfounded. Everyone looked over in horror, and no experts dared to approach. Some experts felt that the atmosphere was a little strange and fled the place immediately. The entire Grand Marquis City fell into a strange atmosphere. It was only after 2 to 3 hours that someone dared to come over to investigate. No one. Why is there no one? What happened? Was there a battle just now? What's going on? The citizens who came to investigate were shocked. The array formation of the Grotto Heaven was still open, but there was no sign of life around the City Lord's residence. It was so quiet that it was terrifying. However, compared to the huge commotion coming from the Eternal Sky City, the Grand Marquis City was much quieter. The news of the annihilation of the experts and disciples of Grand Marquis City did not spread immediately. Next, it's the Radiance Guarding Dragon City and Sun Gathering City. The city lords of these 2 cities are injured. Although the venom-horned dragon didn't receive much news, it's enough. 3 hours later, Wang Xian smiled and walked out of the teleportation array. Under the lead of a venom-horned dragon, he came to the top of a restaurant in Sun Gathering City. Dragon King, Chief, this is all the information I've received about Sun Gathering City. Sun Gathering City was weaker than Eternal Sky City. Now that the City Lord of Sun Gathering City was injured, everything was handed over to his son. Currently, the City Lord of Sun Gathering City might not know about the annihilation of Eternal Sky City. Come, let's go to the city lord's residence. Orokai, do what you did in Grand Marquis City. Gather all the armies and experts and kill them. Wang Xian said plainly. Yes, Dragon King. Orokai nodded. Wang Xian moved and flew towards the city lord's residence with Orokai. Based on the information obtained by the venom-horned dragon, Orokai locked onto an old man. The old man was in the main hall of the city lord and was checking the information. Wang. He didn't even sense Wang Xian's figure appearing behind him. His palm landed on the old man's head. The old man's body stiffened and Orokai immediately carried out the parasite. Dragon King, the city lord of Sun Gathering City, isn't in the city. His cosmos god nation isn't here. Even this body doesn't know about it. Orokai reported with a frown. It's fine if he's not here. Gather all the experts in Sun Gathering City. Wang Xian frowned slightly. The corpse of a First-Order Sovereign Realm Universe Sovereign was missing. Moreover, he would receive fewer treasures. However, Wang Xian wasn't too concerned about it. The operation this time was very successful. Yes, Dragon King. Yamata no Orokai nodded. Just like Demon Fiend, he summoned all the experts from all the legions. This gathering wasn't urgent. An hour later, all the elites in Sun Gathering City would gather.